Eat the fattest worm. Good morning, good morning. Here's your content. Good morning, good morning. How are you doing? Good morning, good morning. Weekend. Yes, indeed. Weekend, you all. Let's unpack our content as always. Weekend. Freaking weekend. Yeah. Freaking weekend. Good morning. Wishing you a lot of happiness. Okay? All right? And positivity. May the day brings everything good for you. Have a blessed Saturday morning when this live is finished. Okay, guys? So like I said, guys, back again with the content. You know, if I don't have a content for you guys, I usually leave a video, a short, and all of that. This is an important factor, important content, because we all do wear Nikes at times. Not only that, we know that there was a lot of diversity, equity that was placed in many workplaces to kind of take off some of the pressure off the black folks in the workplace of the discrimination that's going on. But when we hide and when we look, the other side is claiming discrimination, that Nike discriminates against their white employee. So if you haven't heard, now you know. And if you haven't heard, now I'm going to unpack the story greatly, neatly, and quietly. So thank you for your patience. I am going to read. I am going to read from the best of my ability, and then we'll just give you the audio when I am finished. Okay, guys? So let's get into it. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is probing Nike in response to unspecified allegation that the company discriminates against white employees. The agency said Wednesday. Okay, so the agency said on Wednesday. So this is a recent story, guys, all right? So like I said, the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is probing Nike in response to unspecified allegation that the company discriminates against white employees, the agency said Wednesday. The agency said it is investigating potential discrimination against white workers that may have occurred in part due to Nike's diversity, equity, and inclusion-related 2025 targets and other DEI-related objectives. The subpoena enforcement action is another sign of shift in views on discrimination under the Trump administration, which has sought to end diversity initiatives, okay, and instead examine whether such programs unfairly target white people. Thanks to President Trump committed to enforce our national civil rights law, the EEOC has renewed its focus on even-handed enforcement of Title VII, Chair Angela Lucas said in the statement. In the Wednesday filing, the EEOC did not identify individual victims. Rather, filing refers to all white employees, former employees, prospective employees, and current and prospective training program applicants and participants who have been continued to be or may be in the future adversely affected by the alleged unlawful employment practices. Nike called Wednesday actions as surprising and unusual escalation in an email statement and said it's already shared thousands of pages of information. We are committed to fair and unlawful employment practices and follow all applicable laws, including those that prohibit discrimination. The statement said we believe our programs and practices are consistent with those obligations and take these matters seriously. We will continue our attempt to cooperate with the EEOC and will respond to petition. Okay? Lucas first issued a discrimination charge against Nike in 2024 when she was a commissioner, according to the filing, since becoming a chair. She has shifted the priorities of the EEOC to address discrimination against white people in a famous December social media post. Lucas commissioned potential victims of DEI-related discrimination. Are you a white male who has experienced discrimination at work based on your race or sex? You may have a claim to recover money under federal civil rights law, she said in the X post. The EEOC said it's requesting information from Nike, going back to 2018 over race-based workforce representative quotas and allegedly decided layoff and promotion at least in part due to race. The agency also asked for the information about 16 mentoring and career development programs that were race restricted. The wide-ranging probe is signaled that no employer, no matter how prominent, is free from scrutiny over the Trump administration. Anti-DEI goals, said Sam Mitchell, a Chicago-based lawyer who argues employee dispute cases. Nike is being made an example of, Mitchell told CNN. The EEOC said the agency filed the enforcement action after Nike failed to voluntarily provide all information required by the subpoena. In 2025, legal filing attorneys representing Nike argued the subpoena should be revoked because its itemized requests are unduly burdensome, vague, overboard, disproportionate to the needs of investigation, seek irrelevant and time-barred information, and constitute an impermissible fishing expedition. So my thing is, they can be suing because Nike is basically hiring lots more blacks than whites they claim. But remember, in many workplaces, no matter how Nikes and all kind of company hire more blacks than other people, they're getting less, allegedly. We all know out here that you and somebody else that don't look like the same color will get the same job, the same roles, and have two different paychecks. You have lots of people nowadays that are coming out of school and getting jobs, contract jobs, and no benefits. But other people are landing a full-time job with full benefits as soon as they come out of school. You also had Nike in the past in Chicago somewhere, if I'm not mistaken, and I could go pull up that fact, that Nike gave the police, well, it was a Walmart truck and thousands of Nike shoes. And it was a sting operation where the police put out the Walmart truck and the Nike shoes, Jordans and all, if I'm not mistaken, and put it in the black community to lure the children. So they will put the big truck in the community, open the truck, and see if the children are going to go in there and steal it. And when the children them go in there and steal it, or anybody go in there and steal it, they will come around the corner and apprehend them. Nobody never cried discrimination then. Nobody didn't cry discrimination then. Remember, in many workplaces, a lot of people couldn't get any jobs in Nikes and all of those kind of places back then. So if there's an inclusion equity that was put in place to hire more black folks, to give black folks more opportunity, I don't see there's nothing wrong with that, because white folks are privileged. They're born privileged, they grow privileged, they live privileged, they work privileged. Even in many workplaces, you'll see them walk around and talk on their phone while you're there doing your work. Yeah? But you will see them just come in the workplace lesser time than you and get promotion while you're waiting for that promotion. So when people are privileged, I don't know how privilege also come with lawsuit, the way I see it. But nevertheless, don't hear it from me. Let's get into the conversation some more. And let's get all the way to the audio for you guys to hear for yourself. So do you believe that Nike is discriminating against white folks? I am not sure. Let's unpack the story quick and fast. So this is the audio, guys. All right?
In our spotlight tonight, Nike is being investigated by the federal government over its DEI policies. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission wants the court to enforce the subpoena it issued to Nike as it pursues allegations that the apparel giant discriminates against white workers. And it would be the first time that the government agency has taken action against a private company for such policies. In a statement to ABC News, Nike said that the move from the EEOC feels like a surprising and unusual escalation. So for more on this, I want to bring in ABC News legal analyst and trial attorney Brian Buckmeyer and sneaker culture expert Kari Daniels. Welcome to you both today. But Kari, I want to start with you.
I'm going to give you guys a green screen.
This reads like a flat-out attack by the EEOC. I'm curious, why did you frame it like that?
It does feel like an attack because, when you really look at the nature of Nike as a company, right, this is a company that prides itself on inclusivity for all. As a matter of fact, one of the taglines for Nike is, if you have a body, then you're an athlete. Nike has always prided itself in all of its years and all of its history on a company that, seeks to include everyone, regardless of ethnicity, nationality, or what have you, race, creed, or color, in all the things that they do. Not only that, but they have a number of nonprofit partnerships. They have a number of highlighted programs across many different cultures and many different backgrounds to make sure that everyone feels equally as important. So for this to come down from the EEOC, especially for a company that says that the majority of employees, based on their recent numbers, are discriminated against, is odd to say the least.
Very strange.
Yeah, well, and Brian, something else that's interesting here, in its filing, the EEOC says that this wasn't triggered by internal workers' complaints, but it was done by publicly available information regarding Nike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this charge is called the commissioner charge, meaning it's stemming from in the internal processes of the EEOC, and not what we typically see where someone, for example, from Nike making a report as to a violation of their civil rights. What's going to happen, though, is that there's going to be an investigation. And just because there's a commissioner charge, it doesn't mean that there is a violation, only that the EEOC believes, at least on its face by some of these policies, that there are violations. The thing that sticks out to me, though, is unless you're seeing someone actually directly harmed and bringing forth these allegations, you're merely saying that the practice could lead to a violation, not necessarily that it does. But in their complaint, they do say that they're tracing some of the allegations from 2018.
Yeah, well, and that's a really good point. But Kari, listen, Nike manufactures in countries that are impacted by Trump's tariffs. They also have stakeholders that are proponents of DEI. You look at some of their biggest endorsement deals. It's LeBron James, Michael Jordan. So I'm curious. I mean, how is the company navigating this tight walk here?
Yeah, so in general, they're doing things to make sure that they're in compliance with federal law, right? So one of the things that they talk about is, I believe there are some previous diversity slates that used to be used at Nike that are no longer in practice. There was a time where, previous CEO John Donahoe, wanted to highlight the fact that, diversity was a thing and that, it was a more inclusive environment for minorities and marginalized people. But Nike also is a company at the end of the day that has to stay in compliance, again, with those federal laws, and they're doing so. So, it is, you're right. It is a very tight rope to walk because you are a company that does highlight athletes of color and different people, of color. And I don't think that we should lose sight of that. But at the end of the day, I do think that they're doing everything that they can in not only responding to this case, but making sure that they're also keeping up with public law as well.
Well, and Brian, I mean, you said that the EEOC is going to be looking back, quite a number of years here, which means this could be a significant investigation. But what would you be paying attention to here?
What the subpoena is asking for, because you don't think that this just came out of nowhere, and that's kind of the surprise that Nike put out there. They were cooperating with the EEOC, and the only difference between cooperation, where you're handing over documents of your DEI program, you're handing over documents to show how the hiring and the firing and demotion, and also the mentorship, and leadership programs work within your company. They say they were doing that, but the subpoena simply says now they're mandated by the court to do so. So it's an escalation in their tactics to get more information. And I want to see, one, what the requests are for, what years, what policies, what people, and then two, I want to see if more people come forward saying, like, yes, this policy did negatively affect me, rather than me just having the commission going after Nike, it seems, on their own.
Yeah, definitely something interesting to watch. Brian Buckmeyer, Kari Daniels, hey, thank you both. In our spotlight.
So now you guys heard it. So do you guys think that Nike is discriminating against white folks, or you think that Nike is doing their diligent duty over the years that they never hired that much black folks? Remember, to work in some of these places, you can't have criminal record working around these things, these shoes. So a lot of black folks was out of the mix because of their criminal record. Many jobs, even to work in a factory to pop box, you cannot have any criminal record to work around people. You cannot have any stealing record of working around some of these merchandise. Why you think a lot of black folks are not, in banks and money places? Because it goes by your credit. If you don't have good credit, you cannot work in none of these money institution. Yeah? Cash money, the bank, and any one of these places that you go and get loans. If you have bad credit, you're not getting no job in there. All right? So I don't think that Nike discriminate against the white folks. I think over the years, white folks had many jobs even when they didn't have any credential. We know over the years, lots of people find themselves jobs because they have a friend to pull one and two strings. We know back in the days, folks that don't look like us get jobs because grandma retired, grandma introduced you to boss, and so on, and the list just keep on going and going. Even these Ford companies, if you go look, the first generation is working in it, second generation, third generation. You have some workplace that you couldn't even bring your family members there, but you have lots of people have their family members in many workplaces, and I believe that the rules only apply to certain people. Okay, we also know that Nike has lots of endorsement when it comes to black athletes. But my thing is, when Nike pay a person of color wages and pay somebody else that don't look like that person, you think that the wages is the same? A lot of workplace, good morning, Joshua. A lot of workplaces hire black folks because they know they can do the work, but pay them less. Yes? A lot of workplace hire black folks because they can do the work and pay them less. You have lots of workplace again. If you go and compare your paycheck to your co-worker, you'll be shocked that the co-worker is getting more money than you. All right? It don't matter what profession it is. It could be nursing, could be any job. If you go and hide, most of the time, you're not getting the same amount of money that your colleague is getting. You're not getting the same raise that your colleague is getting. You're not getting the same promotion like how your co-workers will get. You don't get the same treatment when you go to HR like your colleagues, like your co-workers. Because a lot of times when something happens in the workplace and you go to HR, even if it happens towards you, even if you're the one who's getting discriminated against, if you're careful, you're the one who will be laid off, you're the one who will be losing your job. And remember, you're the victim at times. So the way I see it, because Donald Trump is taking out all of this equity, diversity out of the workplace, it's going to be make it more harder for black folks to get jobs, to stay in jobs, and not to be harassed in jobs. So the way I see it, Nike came under fire back in the days, right? Nike came under fire back in the days for all of those running shoes in the Walmart truck, okay? As in lowering black children to come and steal those shoes and then lock them up. I could easily go back for that clip and show you guys way back when. So if Nike is cleaning up their behavior, hiring more black folks, promoting more black folks, doesn't mean that black folks are living better than white folks. Doesn't mean that a black folk could walk in a bank tomorrow morning and get a loan or get a mortgage and the interest rates is the same thing as their white counterparts. It's not so. We all know that when we go and purchase homes, the interest rates is higher than our counterparts. We all know that when we go and get a credit card, people differentiate which one they want to give us and the lower credit limit that they give us. We also know that when we go many places, to even rent places, even to rent a home, even to get even a car, it's different ball game they go on with us than anybody else. You have situations where people in the past complain that when the white folks don't have jobs, they still can have somewhere to live. When white folks is working a minimal job, like even working in Starbucks, they can have all kind of things. You'll be wondering, then where do they get all of this money from? Then we will hide and shout. From the credit card, eat today and pay next month, almost like a loser? Seriously. Okay? So with the way how I see it, Nike shouldn't be under investigation. But if Nike is discriminating against employees, then it's supposed to be a situation that they should rectify. But just to say that Nike is investigating, is going to be investigated because they're discriminating against white folks, all white folks, I don't believe that. Because when you really look into the whole Nike and who made Nike and why Nike is so rich, it's from black folks. Every black folk own a Nike, whether old or new or not so new. We're the ones who out here always buy the most name brands out here and make everybody else rich except us. The way I see it, we always support everybody else's business, but when it comes to the black business, it's limited and hardly no one supported. Even our own kind black folks don't really support their own businesses or each other. You understand? We'll go in a black store and say that, oh, it's so expensive. Oh man, this is so expensive, and end up going to the Chinese store. All right? And if we don't do our investigation, we're thinking, okay, our black brothers are selling these things so expensive. But we have to understand that a lot of times when they buy their merchandise, they were sold those things expensive as well. So they have to make a buck or two on their money. So the last time I checked, okay, the last time I checked, I don't know how Nike is going to go with this one. But at the end of the day, guys, this one don't look good at all. All right? So let's unpack it some more. All right? So the EEOC pushes DEI investigation on Nike, like I said. All right? So let's get into this quick and fast again.
EEOC said it's investigating
1 second.
Nike in response to, quote, systemic allegations of DEI-related intentional race discrimination.
So back it up.
EEOC said it's investigating Nike in response to, quote, systemic allegations of DEI-related intentional race discrimination. Court filings claim that Nike may have shown, quote, disparate treatment against white employees, applicants, and training program participants in a violation of Title VII. EEOC Chair Andrea Lucas wrote in the filing that she believes, quote, Nike may have taken these unlawful actions in an effort to create, in Nike's own words, a representative workforce equal to the consumer and communities it serves. As part of a recent 5-year plan, Nike set 2 targets for increasing representation of minorities.
Like I said, like the community it serves, black people wear and buy more Nikes than anything and anybody else. A black folk will take their last money and go in a Nike store, go buy a Nike and a Jordan and hungry. While white folks will go in Salvation Army and go buy that used Nike and still have food to eat. So the way how I see it, Nike make a lot of money from the black community. The last time I checked, so why not cater to the black community? Why not hire these folks that are disproportionate out there and can't get a job? Why not give people jobs then you know that there will be more to be homeless? Why not give jobs to people that they're more to get in trouble if they don't have a job? And the list go on. So I don't see nothing wrong with Nike hiring more people of color than anybody else. I don't see nothing wrong with that because you have many places that hire people of their ethnic background and no blacks. Let's talk about the Chinese store that we go in. Most of the time, it's all of them. Let's talk about some of these Indian stores that you go in. Let's talk about some of these Tim Hortons running around here. Most of the time that most of them nowadays days there's Indian are in there. Many stores, many workplaces, you don't have all blacks. But you can have workplaces that have all white, all Chinese, all Indian, and we're not out here crying discrimination. So these are the things that I'm talking about. So let's continue to unpack.
At the director level, the goal was 30% representation rate. At the workforce, it was 35%. By 2025, the company had surpassed those goals. Also, just last week, Nike shared plans to lay off nearly 800 workers, mostly at distribution centers. The EEOC says it requested information on Nike's layoff criteria, how the company used workers' race and ethnicity data, and details on programs allegedly providing race-restricted development opportunities. The EEOC says they filed the subpoena against Nike after the company allegedly failed to provide that information. Nike, however, disputed the EEOC's claims and tells KGW that they have shared thousands of pages of information with the EEOC. Nike says, quote, this feels like a surprising and unusual escalation. We have had extensive good faith participation in an EEOC inquiry into our personnel practices, programs, and decisions, and have had ongoing efforts to provide information and engage constructively with the agency. And notably, Nike has come under fire and been sued for racial discrimination in the past, but those suits have been raised by people of color. David?
Yeah, certainly an interesting turn of the.
So you see? So in the past, Nike came under hot water from black folks. Although we spend so much money with Nikes. So nobody never called out that. Not at all. Nobody never thought that there was discrimination more on the black side more than the white folks. Huh? I have a lot of white folks that have jobs from they come out of high school and they're managers and supervisors. And you who's an adult that have more experience and have more education will never get that position. And if you do get that position, somebody's right there overseeing your charts, overseeing your draws, overseeing everything that you're out here doing. Even the credit card that they give you, somebody's on it overseeing those things. They just don't let you do your job in peace. So the way I see it, Nike is just doing what they ought to do because, like I said, Nike been making a lot of money off of black folks for the longest time. All right? For the longest time. All right? For the longest time, guys. All right? For the longest time they've been doing this. For the longest time. So at the end of the day, when you really think about it, the EEOC should have come and probe Nike from a long time when the black folks was out here crying about the truck that was parked in Chicago somewhere with all of those Nike luring those black children to go and steal them and then handcuff them and lock them away. Where was the EEOC then? Where was the privilege then to say, hey, what you're doing to those black kids are wrong? Where were they then? So the way we see it, Donald Trump is out here always pushing some kind of fire and also some kind of rhetoric. Remember Donald Trump not too long post a picture with Obama and his wife in with monkey face. Isn't that racism? As a president? Isn't that racism as a president? So here you guys are, the EEOC is probing Nike because of all of this diversity that Donald Trump is taking out of the workplace. But yet still nobody's not out here calling out Donald Trump for putting up two black people with monkey on their faces. Nobody is not talking about Donald Trump, how Donald Trump used to discriminate against black folks renting his place. So all of these kind of things. Nobody's not talking about how Donald Trump used to not hire black folks. All of these things. Right? So the last time I checked, Nike has some kind of problem on their hands, but hopefully it will be rectified. All right, guys? I wanted to talk about something else before I go to something else. I wanted to go to my facts check after this. Maybe I should have did my facts check before. But there's something very important that I want to talk about before I even get to my facts check. Or I should have dropped my facts check now because I'm talking about Nike. But we're going to get to facts check in a minute. Body recovered believed to be DJ Young Slade, son of Little John. So we get to understand that Little John's son, the other day, ran out of the house naked. Okay, I'm not sure if it's a mental situation or what's happening now. But Little John's son ran out the house the other day. DJ Young Slade, son of Little John, ran out the house the other day naked. And right now they claim that the body has recovered. So we're not sure if it's him, but let's unpack that greatly. All right? 1 second.
Welcome to
1 second.
Casino.
With our Angelique Proctor, who is on top of new developments, tragic ones at that, with the search of Atlanta rapper Lil Jon's son. It seems like there's been a devastating development here, Angelique. What more do we know?
Listen.
Well, good afternoon to you, Tom. Yes, heartbreaking development here in the city of Milton. We are...
It's just muted. I don't know why.
Milton police had been looking for about 3.5 days. They do confirm for us that they did pull a body from this pond that you see here this afternoon. This is where they had been searching for 27-year-old Nathan Smith, who is well known in Atlanta circles as DJ Young Slade, and is, as you said, the son of rapper Lil Jon. Well,
I know a star.
Leaving his home around 6 a.m. on Tuesday. He was described as being disoriented and possibly being in need of assistance. And
so it's a mental situation going on. What's going on with her black children and her black brothers out here, man. So this boy left his house like that, naked, ran out the house. And they've been looking for him for a while. Little John's son. So you're never too famous for mental illness. You're never too rich for mental illness. And you're never too rich to unpack this situation and sad story. Mental illness is plaguing the black community, including our young boys and our young men. Because we were taught, hold up your stress. Don't come and complain. Don't cry on nobody's shoulder. Don't be a wuss. Don't be a sissy. Look at people. Did you hear the story? Or I'm coming to tell you guys the story first. Let's continue to unpack.
So for 3.5 days, police, canine, divers, and even a bloodhound had been searching for Smith. We do have some new images from Skyfox 5. It was about 11:53 this morning that officials found what they believe is the body of Nathan Smith. My colleague who was on the scene at the time tells me a body bag was brought to the scene. The medical examiner showed up, and we, as members of the media, were asked to move back. Then at approximately about 1:45, a gurney was put in a transport van, and that van pulled off. So many people in this family-friendly community were hoping for the best. I have talked to some of them since I have been here, but this Friday afternoon, there is utter sadness. Now, the Milton Police Department says it will not comment further on this case until the medical examiner positively identifies this body. And of course, the Smith family has asked for privacy, and we will, in fact, honor that.
Angelique.
Jano, we have troubled, my friend. Wayne, we have troubled, my friend. Wayne, that's Little John's son. Possible in that water that they pulled and the gurney now. So when your loved one disappear out the home, you better run after them right away. Yeah, when they take off like that out there freaking out, you better hurry up. Hurry up. You better hurry up. Because look it, nobody knew they were going to find him in a pond. Nobody knew that his mental illness was going to take him over after this little boy is a prominent little boy in the black community. You understand? So if you didn't know about Little John's son, here we are. If you didn't know about Little John's son, here we are, folks. Here we are. Sad, sad, sad indeed. But what can we say? Sad, sad, sad indeed. But what can we say? Body recovered believed to be DJ Young Slade, son of Little John. So I wonder how long he had his mental illness. And I wonder how long he was accepting treatment. And I wonder if he had treatment. And I wonder if he was taking it serious. And I wonder if the family in the black community knew that his mental illness was this serious. Because a lot of time when you tell the black folks I'm mentally ill, oh, shut up, go sit down. A lot of time when you tell black folks that you're mentally ill, really, you're mentally ill, and think it's funny. Knowing that these people are really seriously mentally ill, really and seriously. So you're never too famous for mentally ill. You're never too rich. Remember, mental illness don't discriminate whether you're black, brown, white, or anything of that sort. Mental illness is out here and it's running wild. Seriously. From there, guys, I am going to get to facts check quick and fast because I'm going to wrap up this live quick and fast. Yes? All right. So, there was an Operation Sting. Okay? Hold on. Let's see if I could find it. If not, I'll come back another day with this shit, right? All right. All right, then. So did Chicago cops trap black kids by placing Nike shoes in the bait truck? Let's get there. Because like I said to you guys, I am not lying. We're going to go all the way back in 2024. All right? So when Nike, where did these police officers get these Nike? We know that police officers out there spend minimal and stuff. We know they get everything for free. They're almost like a welfare recipient. No shade. We know that they live off our taxes. And we know at the end of the day, they get free donuts, free coffee. So I'm not surprised if they got some free Nike shoes. So my question is, let me turn off the screen quick and fast. When the police in Chicago in 2024, yes, let me go up some more. When the police in Chicago trap black kids by placing Nike shoes in a bay truck operation for the black children to come and steal it and lock them up, where was the outcry of discrimination? Why Nike never get under fire of exploiting this nonsense? Why wasn't Nike questioned? Why all of these shoes are in the back of the truck luring black children? No? All right, no problem. Give me a second. Let me get to the audio for you guys, since I'm the one who do the reading most of the time, and you guys always leave all the homework on me. So let's get to YouTube for a second. So remember, I told you, I say a lot of things out of my mouth, but don't think I'm making it up, because I will come and give you facts check. So let's get to the audio of the facts check while they had children, luring children with a truck full of Nike shoes. But nobody never cried racism then. So let's unpack this quick and fast, all right? So, cops luring black kids with Nike shoes in a truck. Okay? Let's put it up that way and see if it will come up. 1 second. All right, I'm not lying. Come here now. So we're going to go all the way back. Yes, it's not the first, it's not the second, even happened the other day in 2024. So we're going to give you the old one all the way. All right? Hold on. Let's give you this part. I want to give you the short version of the 4 minutes. All right? Hopefully I don't get a copyright strike.
Make it a habit.
1 second.
A 10-minute.
The country routinely use bait traps to try to catch thieves in the act. They set up a tempting bike or a car, and then they watch. But in Chicago last week, the tactic backfired.
So y'all see this? Listen, this is live, uncut, unedited. Bait truck.
I'm going to give you a screen. See if it will go through the screen. Actually, no. Let me just do this. If I get a copyright strike, I would have to just say, oh, well.
Charles McKenzie was born and raised in Inglewood, in southwest Chicago. On an unmarked 18-wheeler being parked and reparked around his neighborhood, he knew something was up.
They sent people over this truck right there.
So this is where you were when you were taking the video with your phone, right?
Yes.
So you're seeing, what are you seeing?
As I pulled up and approached the situation, I saw the officer putting the young man in the car, you know, and I was standing right here, and then I got closer to right here to see everything that's going on.
Empty Nike truck with Nike boxes in the ghetto.
What Charles caught on video was a new program the police had nicknamed Operation Trailer Trap. Police from Norfolk Southern Railways loaded the truck with Nike Air Force One sneakers.
What did I tell you?
Baton shoes.
Jaja.
3 people were arrested for theft and what police call a sting, but neighbors call a setup. Chicago PD said they were only brought in to make arrests, and the charges have since been dropped.
We always suspect that the police stage crime in our area.
Of course.
Never able to prove it or document it on film.
Of course. They've been doing this shit for years. Excuse me.
Live uncut people. I got it. Y'all know the script. In the black community, we're over police, and we have the most crime.
So I don't need to drag this out now. I just had to give you my facts check before you guys think I'm lying and I'm making up stories. So where was the outcry when the police had the big truck with all the Nike shoes and Louis Vuitton in it, luring the black children? Remember, the black children weren't going to corner store no more and stealing. Yes? They were going into breaking in people's cars and stealing. So when they couldn't get the black folks to go pack them up in the prison to make helmets, baseball hats, coffin, and the list go on, They put out a truck full of Nike shoes and Louis Vuittons and lured the black children to lock them up. Nobody had an outcry then? No one had an outcry then? Okay? 1 second. I think I'm going to even get a copyright strike with this. Maybe this live is not even going to be up. If it live is not going to be up, I will come back tomorrow to come do this live. Yeah? So that's what I'm asking you guys. So didn't they not know all this time that that was discrimination? Nobody cried out about this? Anyways, kiss my teeth and pass. It just warned me that I believe I'm going to get a copyright strike with whatever I just showed. I am going to try to edit the video. I don't know if you could edit the live the way how you want to edit a video. If it doesn't work out, I will come in and pack the same story later with just the audio but not the video. That's what I should have done. But I just wanted to show you guys that I'm not lying, okay? Nevertheless, it won't hurt anyway because like I said, building my channel, building on content, have many more content to talk about so I could easily rerun this content later if you guys don't see it up when I'm done. So that's what I'm saying. So these are the things that I'm talking about, folks. All right? Let me see if I could add myself to their list. 1 second. Okay? Anyways, so that's what I'm talking about. So if you're going to come now and Nike and say that Nike is discriminating against white folks by hiring more people of color, then everybody should have cried out when the Nike's partnership up allegedly with the officers gave them all of these Nikes because, you know, they didn't go out and buy all of these things to lure these children to lock them up. Because once you have all of these Nikes, then these children will run in the truck and take these things. It's free for all, not knowing that the cops are around the corner to go and apprehend them for them to be stealing. Kiss my teeth and pass. Let's wrap up this live quick and fast. Because I need to fix this live, eh? So right now we're celebrating Black History. Yes? Black History Month. Black and proud. Well, however you celebrate this. Remember, we're out here and every day we're saying we're black and proud. And when you hide, we're the most, at times, hateful people towards each other. We don't get along. We don't love each other that much. We have no brotherly love or sisterly love. So the black race at times needs to fix up, like the diversity program. Every day we're out here crying discrimination, but at times nobody discriminates. At times, they say, us, we discriminate. If somebody call us an N-word that don't look like us, we're ready to cry out, discrimination. But we can go out there and call Mr. Wong, Mr. Chin, Mr. Chong, Mr. Wong, the Indian man, and don't cry discrimination. So we have names that we call other ethnic group. I don't think it's discrimination. But once somebody call us the N-word, we're ready to fight. We're up in our feelings. The last time I checked. So we need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves at times. Kiss my teeth and pass. I say that to drop this. Black History. Bessie Coleman. Okay? Let's unpack this. So she was the first African American to obtain an international pilot license. All right? She was the first. So we had to come and shout out this in Black History time. When we're out here saying that we're black and proud and it's a month to celebrate our blackness. Well, we're supposed to be celebrating our blackness every day, every minute, every second of what we ought to be. All right? So for Black History, I'm going to be dropping out Bessie Coleman and hold tight that because she's one of African-American heroes that was out here, the first African-American woman to obtain an international pilot license. Women nowadays days don't want to fly. Woman wants to out here shake my booty, toss my hair back with my long fingernails out here. We want to get the bag. But there's many more jobs out here that you could go here and get the bag. More than out here with the Asian trick selling PUSSY. I got to shout. Kiss my teeth and pass. Let's wrap up this live quick and fast. And because I want to see if this live is going to stay up. Da-da-dee-da-da-dum, da-da-dee-da-da-dum. Let me pull up this live quick and fast because I'm going to wrap up this live and I got to run, man. Got to run. Although it's weekend, I'm also extremely busy. Extremely busy. I want to talk about this first because health is wealth. Houston doctor indicted on charges he falsified records to black patient liver transplants. We're going to come and talk about this because this is troubling and disturbing. This is disturbing and troubling. All right? So right now he's going to be locked up, and I'm sure many other people are going to come and say, hey, I was supposed to get a transplant, but this asshole doctor block it and falsify the documents. Oh no. They say nowadays days, allegedly, when you're looking for a heart transplant, a kidney transplant, it's almost like a lottery. Who is important the most? Let's give it to who is important the best, or the best, or the most. The last time I checked, allegedly. Don't mix me. From there, we're going to go here. Remember the other day I came and I said, guys, I did a content on him here. He's on my page. Actor Timothy Bushfield indicted on 4 counts of sexual contact with a child. So remember I said the boys them were supposed to call him uncle. He was giving the boys them some kind of tickle. He told the boys them to sit on his lap. Uncle, uncle, uncle. And then he come out and cry, said, because they're not in the show no more, they came and cry foul. And it's not true. Well, instead of 2 charges, he's on 4 counts. Remember I said so? They gave him bail on his own behavior and said, come out here. Never know, he was going to pick up some extra charges. So I dropped that content on my page. If you're interested in my content, it's on my live, so I don't need to come and repeat this like a broken record. So right now, the man is in more hot water, trouble there. Seriously. Let's wrap up this live quick and fast. From there, let me see what else I got for you guys. Quick and fast this Saturday morning. Am I supposed to drop? Wait a minute. Give me a second. Because sometimes I don't want certain things on here. So 1 second. Although it look like I'm going to get a strike already. All right. Where is the other part now? All right. Let's go to Jamaica for a second. Police have charged a 55-year-old businessman in connection, okay, with all of these smartphones in Spanish Town that he's been stealing. Murder! So if you brought your phone to this businessman, and you never got back the phone in working order, and you got a different phone, now we know why. Thief! Thief! Allegedly. Thief! Allegedly. Thief! Allegedly. Shout the police. Not me. I'm only here to read the news. Okay? Not to judge, but just saying, thief! The police shout. All right? So they said that the businessman is in hot water, stealing all of these smartphones. So have you missing a smartphone? Did you lose a smartphone in Spanish Town somewhere? They said the businessman and the businesswoman and all of these people gone with the phone. Because it's not only one person stealing. There's a businessman right there stealing and a businesswoman, they claim, out here stealing phones. So have your phone ever gone missing? And did you ever get your phone stolen out here, and it's these people that do it? Well, if so, you're not alone. Kiss my teeth and pass. Okay, guys? I'm going to wrap up this live, man. I can't talk anymore. But what I want to say is this. Did you guys know that this little girl, the same Jane Doe in the R. Kelly case, came out and shared her part? Did you guys know that this is the little girl that was in the so-called video that R. Kelly was peeing on? Did you guys realize right now she testified? And did you guys realize now she came out and showed her face, although we didn't know what she looked like? So girl is out here doing all kind of interviews. And one part was so sinister for me, disturbing for me, is when she said R. Kelly told her when she was 17 that the tape that he was urinating on her at the age of 14 or 12 is out on the street selling like hotcakes, like patty and a bun with mayo and ketchup and lettuce. Seriously? And the black community never had a problem then. So was R. Kelly really a predator a long time? And we sweep it underneath the rug? Perhaps. Kiss my teeth literally and pass. Next, the wrongs that goes on more time in the black community. Because remember in the trial, girl said it wasn't her. Family said it wasn't her. Remember, after that situation, she still ended up talking to R. Kelly. And remember that situation, her mom and her dad was still around R. Kelly. So who to be blamed? Should R. Kelly should have go down with all of these kids that they got caught up with, or the parents should have go down as well? Because we all know that some of these mothers that leave these children and go about their business and say, take on to my child, make her into a superstar, please and thank you. So the parents should have go down too and get locked up. But what can we say? If he's the piper, then I guess the piper gone down with the pipe. Seriously. But nevertheless, people, wrapping up this live. Thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure as always. Hopefully this live stay up. If not, I'll be pissed. But if not, I will come back and pat this whole thing with the same audio of the Nike truck, but the audio, not the video. And learn from my mistake that, girl, at the end of the day, be mindful out here. What you out here I do. Now, the reason why I say that, under my comment section, because I'm going to wrap up this live. Under my comment section, I dropped something about Blink TV, if I'm not mistaken, and Gemrock. Now, you guys know these big people, whether they're Rasta, whether they're bald head, whether they're big people, old people, gray people, whatever they are, you know, they're always on the internet bickering back and forth. Whether they're big woman, whether they're big man, they're always on the internet bickering back and forth, yes? We all know again, when people want to start a channel, they go after a bigger channel like the Alicia Kim story. And everybody and their mother will come and talk who's the adultery, from who a take married man, from who a take married woman, and all the list. But they forget about many other people out here who will live adultery life. Kiss my teeth and pass, literally. So we know that people's out here piggybacking off of people's content. We know that most of the time when any blogger take up any content, it's off of somebody content that they're piggybacking off of, and they're going to drop that content. So because I dropped Blink View TV situation on my page, a woman come underneath the comment section. Oh, you only go around and take away people's content. Really, lady? So when people are playing people content and I react to it, what do you call that? You know why I don't have a problem? Because I don't really have no secret for me to come out here in my marriage to come chat. That's why I'm not mad. And you know why I don't have a problem? Because I am not like the rest. I don't need to use nobody content to come over here. I will go in the newspaper like how I do now and come up with stories and content and be to no bad. Just like so. So it has nothing to do with me. So if you never like the people them business, how did you reach over my channel? And if I never dropped that, how would you be out here commenting? So know on yourself, on a big people too mad and miserable. Find something constructive to do and don't come for me. Because everybody else out here piggybacking off of somebody content, so why can't I? You know why? Because I'm not the same. I'm not in the pack of you guys nonsense going on every minute. Maybe if I was out here and I was like the rest of them, you wouldn't have a problem. So what is the problem? If Blink View TV don't tell me to take it down, you shouldn't have a problem. And when I went on your page, you're not even blogging anything. So make up a channel, make up a page, and go and piggyback off of people content and see where your channel lands as well. Only if you stop it, man. You didn't see nothing else on the channel? Look how much stuff I drop on this channel. You never see nothing on the channel that I did on my own. I guess not. You only see the Blink TV situation, and you may be a fan of Blink TV or a fan of those people, so you have a problem. Well, lady, I'm going to tell you this. I now stop piggyback off of somebody chant things when I want to, when I don't have a content. And then if the people them come over here and say, take it down, I will take it down. But for now, I am literally going to kiss my teeth and pass. Not for you guys on the internet. Wanna believe that the internet belong to no mother, or no father, or no grandfather. But remember, so none of you guys don't have no shares on the internet. None. And you know what I notice about you big people? If you guys are not, if your person is not likable like how you like all these people, you don't have a problem what they put up. I don't care who like me, you know. I'm not looking for likes. Not at all. Okay? That's why you see most of the time. Sometimes I will short and say like the video. Sometimes I don't even say like the video, to be honest. If I come and make a content and I don't like it, it's you guys' business. If I come and put a content out here and you guys want to listen, it's up to you guys. I ain't putting no gun to nobody head. You notice, even on this channel, I don't fix it up with no commercial. I don't fix it up to go and collect no money monthly. I'm just doing something as in freelance. Remember, you guys can't pay me to come and sit down here for an hour to come and talk. to be honest. And you know what me always shout? I'm very independent. I go out here and use my able body to go and work. So lady, I'm not taking $1 from Blink TV. I'm not taking $1 from you, and I'm not taking $1 from nobody. I'm not out here begging. I work for mine. That's why when me ready, me drop all kind of food, all kind of things out here, because I legally, rightfully work for my shit. The last time I checked. So you two look a bit and miss me case, and two look a bit and hurry up. Mind your business. If somebody, I drop somebody over here and they don't have a problem with the content, why do you? Somehow not too big and careless. Go and look after you guys' grandkids and leave me out. It's too much. Like, what you guys gonna tell me to do what on my channel? You didn't see anything else, lady? You know exactly who I'm talking about, and I didn't even block you. So hopefully you can enjoy some of the live them that may never fast and take up people content. Kiss me teeth and pass. Happy Saturday, guys. I'm gonna jump off of this live now. So thank you for stopping by. Good morning. Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. Peace and love until we catch until we catch up again or meet up again. Bye.